Sure, there are relationships, even marriages, where there's no chemistry and it works, but it's very low quality kind of relationship. And if you're a high value, high standards woman, you don't settle for less than delicious, amazing chemistry with a man that you authentically feel desire to kiss, to have sex with. Hi, welcome to Awaken the High Value Queen, the show for high value, high standards women who desire more, deserve more, and are owning it fully, unapologetically. I've guided women to rise above and walk away from unfulfilling relationships and attract the man they truly desire, relationships where they truly feel valued and cherished, and love that feels delicious to their hearts and bodies. You're next. Together, we will awaken your queen power, unleash your main character energy, and amplify your feminine magnetism so that you step boldly into the life and love that truly honor who you are. Hit subscribe or follow and share this with every woman who deserves the best, and get ready, because with every episode, we're going to dive deep and level up in our queen power. This is Awaken the High Value Queen Show. Come on up, queen, and let's get to it. Hi, welcome to the second episode of Awaken the High Value Queen. I'm your host, Final Jai Calling. I'm an FHM model turned dating, love, and relationship expert. I'm the creator of Awaken the High Value Queen brand. I'm the author of the ebook Awaken the High Value Queen Within, Heal Your Self-Worth, Embody Authentic Femininity, and Manifest Your True King. I'm the founder of Awaken the High Value Queen Within community on Facebook, and I'm a dating coach and a real estate broker. On today's episode, I'm going to share with you why your relationship may not feel fulfilling, or it feels like something's missing, or you're scared if the man you're with, or the man you're dating is even the one or not. I'm going to share with you the 4 C's of choosing a man. C number 1 is chemistry. Okay? A lot of women, they're in relationship with men that they don't even authentically feel like being with. You know, men that look good on paper or is good to their ego or to their image, but does not light them up, you know, does not feel delicious in their body. They don't authentically feel like kissing the guy, you know. Maybe the guy is financially well off, and, you know, your feminine ego, your rooted feminine ego thinks that you can find safety from the guy, but not necessarily passion, not necessarily visceral, authentic desire, you know, like you don't necessarily feel like kissing the guy, you know, like kissing the guy or even having sex with the guy feels a lot like obligation, you know. So if you're not feeling like you have authentic desire or visceral attraction towards the guy, or authentic desire to kiss him, or, you know, have sex and enjoy sex with the guy, you may not have that chemistry with the man. Sure, there are relationships, even marriages, where there's no chemistry and it works, but it's very low quality kind of relationship. And if you're a high value, high standards woman, you don't settle for less than delicious, amazing chemistry with a man that you authentically feel desire to kiss, to have sex with. You know, you authentically require passion and mutual attraction in your life, in your high value, high standards women, in your love life. Here's a caveat on chemistry though. Sometimes you feel chemistry instantly, like upon meeting someone, and then there are times where chemistry kind of takes time. It kind of develops through time, through interactions, through repeat exposure to another person's presence, you know. So don't judge whether you have chemistry with someone or not on the first date. If, like, after the third date and you still don't feel like kissing the guy, then chances are there's no chemistry at all. So, and that's why rotational dating can be necessary in the beginning. C number 2 is character. You know, a lot of women, they're in a relationship with a man that the character of the man they don't truly trust or respect or admire. They don't truly feel safe with the man's character, or they don't even know that they can demand that that the guy has good character for them to date them. You know, that they ignore this, that they ignore the character of a man. Even I used to date shady men, you know, like criminals, corrupt politicians, and because at the time I didn't know these four C's, you know, which I know now. You know, when I was modeling, I was always orbited around by various different kind of men, and but at the time I was also in my unawareness, in my lack of awareness, I was also operating from my low vibe, wounded version of myself. And so I was also attracting or being attracted to men who were also as wounded as I was, as emotionally wounded as I was, but they had money and they were taking me shopping. So I thought that that's what I wanted. You know, I didn't know, but nobody told me you need to find 4C in a man, you know. But I just felt somewhere inside me that this is, I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm just feeling like this is not necessarily the one, you know, like something's missing. I was there. I've been there. I've been in a relationship where I felt like there's just something missing. This is not quite the one yet. So yeah, character. You have to make sure that in your relationship with the man, there has to be mutual respect, mutual trust, mutual admiration. And you know, when a man is doing shady business, of course, there's no mutual respect or mutual trust there. C number 3 is connection or emotional connection or energetic connection. Emotional connection, you can feel that with someone when there's mutual respect, mutual trust. You're just feeling it in your heart. You know, there's heart-to-heart connection. It's not just ego-to-ego connection. Because ego-to-ego connection is like when two people look good on paper, even look good from the outside, but they're not really connecting heart-to-heart. Like, they don't appreciate what each other values in their hearts, you know. It's not necessarily a man that you have the same values with. You know, you can have different values with a man and still make a relationship work if you make conscious effort to appreciate the man that he is and what he values in his heart and what he values in his life, and vice versa. He does the same for you. He values what you value, you know. There may be value clashes. You may not value the same things. All your values may not be the same, but at least you have to be appreciative of each other's values. You have to be appreciative of each other's presence, you know. So that's emotional connection. And yeah, there has to be mutual trust and mutual respect. And mutual trust and mutual respect is connected to the second C, which is character. If the person does not have, the man does not have a good character, it's going to be very hard to trust and respect that person. But, you know, in life, you don't attract what you think you want. You attract people who are a lot like you, who are on the same energetic level as you, who are on the same self-worth as you. And self-worth is in the realm of emotions, you know, your emotional aspect of yourself. So if you want to attract a man with good character, you have to first make the inner work to be of good character as well. So when I was modeling, but I was, you know, operating from my very wounded past versions of myself, my traumatized version of myself, my adaptive mechanism version of myself, I was also attracting men who were of around the same toxic, wounded, unhealthy level of self-worth as I had, you know. And so through the years, I've done a lot of inner work in order to polish the rough edges of my character, of my personality, and to go to the most authentic, integrous version of myself. I'm a work in progress. I'm not super there yet, but I am getting there. I am there. I am that woman in this reality now. I am her now. I've stepped into her now. That's why I'm confident I'm gonna soon attract a man who is the energetic match of the best version of myself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. If there's no emotional connection, there's no mutual trust, there's no mutual respect, if you keep flouting each other's boundaries because there's no mutual trust and mutual respect, then the relationship will collapse. There's no true relationship when there's no mutual trust, mutual respect, mutual honesty, mutual transparency. When you're lying to the person you're with, you're not in a genuine relationship. You're in a fake relationship. If you have to fake things, if you have to lie to the person to be in a relationship with them, to keep the relationship, I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but you're not in a real relationship. If you're in such a relationship where you have to keep lying, and I've been there also, that's why I know, and that's why that relationship collapsed. We were lying to each other. I knew I was lying to him, but I thought, because I didn't have a dating coach before, so I wasn't the relationship expert that I am now before. And so I thought lying was the norm in a relationship, and especially between a man and woman. I thought lying to each other was the norm, and so that was my standards. I didn't know that I could have better, but now I know better. That's why I've raised my standards as well. I'm no longer attracted to men that I used to be attracted to, the men who were non-committal men who had shady character but a lot of money, men that are sexy and are sexually attractive, men with like fits, more than 6 foot, has a lot of sexual confidence, but are not pursuing me as wife. I'm no longer attracted to that low level energy of a man come to me. For me now, if I am to give access to my heart, to my body, to a man, he has to come through love. I now filter him from a place of higher self-worth, higher value for myself. And I'm sharing you this because I want you to be guided with these principles and guidelines as well. Before you give access to your body, to your heart, to your emotions, to a man, and to your time, to your energy, to your attention, before you give such access to men, you have to know your value enough to only give access to men who's going to value all that. Unless a man is truly valuing your presence, your character, your heart, who you are as a woman, as a person, unless it's truly valuing that, valuing your time, your attention, your feminine energy, don't give men exclusive access. Don't give men too much access. It's okay, you can rotationally date, you can go to the dating apps, say hi, hello, get to know people, but unless they're pursuing you more than the talking stage, don't give them access to your heart, to your emotions. Okay, enjoy meeting people, enjoy talking to men, enjoy the attention, enjoy the gifts, but protect your emotional investment, protect your heart, value your feminine energy, value yourself as a woman. But you only give access to a man when he deserves it, because he worked for it. He proved himself that he's worthy of it, because you are the price. In romance, women are the price. There's so much to learn from animals and from nature. Eagles, female eagles, when they are choosing to mate with a man, they test for the man's commitment. Before they mate with a male eagle, the female will first give the female eagle will first give the male eagle shit test. Shit test meaning she's gonna pick a twig and then she's gonna fly so high and drop the twig, and the male who's courting her will have to fly down and fetch the twig and give it back to her, and then the female eagle will give him higher shit test. She's gonna fly higher, drop the twig again, and the male has to fetch the twig again, give it back to her, and do it over and over again until she's finally convinced that the male eagle is strong enough, committed enough, devoted enough to her, that he's going to be there for her and her offsprings once she mates with him, and not just abandon her and her offsprings when she's so vulnerable, when she's pregnant, or when she's with babies. with eaglets. So as human females, we have to learn, we have to emulate that from the eagles. We have to test for men's commitment and devotion of us, appreciation of us, valuing of us, respect of us, our feminine presence in their lives before we give our commitment and our emotional investment to a man, before we award them our emotional investment, our emotional access to our emotional world, to our heart. The fourth C is consistency. I have a viral video on TikTok. It has like 1.4 million views. I think so many women was able to relate to that, because a lot of men, they're only so hot and heavy in chasing you in the beginning, right? Like usually within the first 3 months, because those first 3 months, the first 3 months when you meet a man and he finds you attractive, his body fills up with testosterone, and this testosterone fuels his chase instinct. So he's gonna do everything to try to make you submit to his chase, and often the submission that they desire and expect and are aiming for is sexual submission. Okay, so when a man is not yet mature, that he doesn't have yet capacity to truly commit to a woman and to make wise choice which woman is worthy of pursuit, he's gonna keep chasing around women. He's gonna keep chasing every attractive woman in sight until he's bored of them, until the attraction goes down. And such attraction, sexual attraction, physical attraction, is very shallow level of attraction, and that's why these kind of attraction fizzles down within 3 months. I know, because I've been there also. I've had men who were hot and heavy pursuing me, chasing me the first 3 months, and then fizzle out. Okay, that's why that commitment test that the ego does, you have to do it, especially in the first 3 months or the first 6 dates, as much as possible. Don't get too sexual with a man in the first 6 dates. But these are just guidelines, so always follow your intuition still, because I also have girlfriends who are happily married to attractive alpha males that they slept with on the first date. Okay, so follow your intuition, follow your body, but it's going to be very hard for you to be connected to your intuition and to your body when you're operating so much in your trauma, in your wounded feminine version of yourself, and your wounded masculine version of yourself. And that's why in my ebook, Awaken the High Value Queen Within, which you can get from my website, winojoycalling.com, I gave their tools in order to heal the feminine energy and your own masculine energy, so that you can get in touch with your intuition, and so that you can make wiser decisions in choosing a man and knowing when to sleep with a man. You can find it in my ebook or on the video course version of my ebook, which is also in my website. And if you want to learn more, you can work with me one-on-one coaching or join my group coaching program. So the first 3 months is very crucial to truly get to know a man, his character, see if he's consistent. Because if a man is just chasing you hot and heavy, but his character, he doesn't have yet the emotional maturity to have a capacity to truly commit to a woman and honor that commitment, then he may not be the right man for you, or may not be the right man for you right now. Maybe in the future when he's matured enough, but not right now. If he truly desires being with you, if he truly values your presence, if he truly desires being with you, if he truly values your presence, appreciates, respects your presence, your soul, your heart as a woman, then he's gonna show you with his consistency, with his pursuit of you, that he's pursuing a committed relationship with you, and he's willing to honor that commitment, and honor that commitment for life, not just the first 3 months, or not just when it's convenient, or not just when we have utility to him. So usually in the first 3 months, you can kind of feel out the guy, what's his true intention towards you, And when a man realizes that his intention towards you, or his attraction towards you, is not really in that committed, serious level, usually he's just gonna fizzle out within those 3 months. And if that happens, it's actually in favor of you. At least he's giving you the gift of space for the right man to come into your life and to actually pursue you, love you, appreciate you, value you, cherish you, see you as a prize, treat you as a prize. So when a man fizzle out, let him, let them deselect themselves, let the not aligned ones deselect themselves and weed themselves out of your orbit, of your dating pool. But also within those 3 months, if the man feels like you're the right person for him, you're his wife, you're the woman that he wants to pursue as wife, you can see that a man behaves differently when he knows he's with a woman that he wants to pursue as wife versus when he knows he's with a woman that he only wants to pursue for as long as she's convenient, for as long as she has utility, for as long as he still has that dopamine, excitement, physical attraction for her, but not necessarily emotional attraction. You know that a man is pursuing you as a wife when you communicate your boundaries and he respects them. For example, a man tries to kiss you on the first date, and your boundary is that you don't kiss on the first date. I don't kiss on the first date. This version of myself doesn't kiss on the first date. In my past versions of myself, yeah, there were versions of me that kiss on the first date, but this wiser version of myself, more healed version of myself, does not kiss on the first date. I've been on dates where the man, tried to touch my knee, and I already told him I felt uncomfortable with that, and he tried to kiss me on the first date. I already told him I don't kiss on the first date, and how many times on that first date he tried to kiss me? Like, what the fuck, And then when I told him about it, he even tried to justify what he was doing. He was like, I just wanted to show you how attracted I am to you, blah blah blah. But I felt the ick, like what kind of emotionally immature kind of man is that? Instead of apologizing for flouting my boundaries and committing to behave better, he even justified why he did that, and even gaslit me to think that it's because he was so attracted to me. And so I didn't see that guy anymore, because the truly high value woman, she only gives her heart to a man who's won it, who deserves it, who works for it and values it, and men work for things and people that they value, Men work hard to get the championship trophy. Men work hard to get the salary raise. Men work hard to build businesses. Men work hard to win elections. Because these things, they value these things. So when a man values you as a woman, he's going to work for you too. He knows that you are the prize in romance and in love. And you have to know that. Until you know that you are the prize in love and romance, no man can see you as the prize in love and romance. Well, like 99% of the time. Of course, there are always like outliers where, like, in Korean dramas, and it happens in real life too, where no matter who you are in that moment, even though you're so toxic and all, there's still a man who can see your value and knows right away that you're his wife, but those are outlier, exceptional cases. Majority of the time, until you see yourself, you're as the prize in love and romance, a man usually cannot see you as the prize in love and romance either. Because our reality is just a mirror. Our outer reality is just a mirror of our inner reality, of our inner thoughts, of our inner beliefs. In manifestation, which there's also manifestation teaching in my ebook and in my video course, your belief is law of belief. Whatever you believe, consciously or unconsciously, whatever your deeply held convictions, they manifest as real in your life, in your reality. So in order to in order to hijack that, to hijack your reality, you have to have different beliefs, in different inner world, different thoughts about yourself, different valuing of yourself, different self-worth, and a higher level one. You have to appraise your self-worth, your self-value. You have to see yourself. If you want men to appreciate you more, to give you the higher appreciation, higher respect, higher love that you truly deserve, you have to first give it to yourself. Okay? Until you give it to yourself, chances are 99% of the time, no man can give it to you either. So really, the Awaken the High Value Queen way is to do the inner work, to truly see your own value, appraise your own value, revalue yourself, appraise it. It's 2020, going 2026 now. You have to command the value and the treatment that you truly desire from your reality, from the people around you, and from yourself. For example, this is how I'm revaluing myself in my own life. I've always known I wanted to consistently create long form contents on YouTube, but I was always self-abandoning that heart desire, that soul desire of mine, because I had a lot of excuses. I was waiting for things to be better and all that. But I've revalued myself. I've appraised myself. I've raised my standards and my valuing of myself and my heart's desire. I'm now committed to showing up and doing these long form videos consistently. I've stopped abandoning my heart's desire. So a lot of women, these are some of the ways they abandon themselves. Like in career, they keep tolerating a job they hate. And in relationships, they keep tolerating a man they hate. You know, a man they don't even want to kiss, you know. A lot of women are in marriages that are not founded on true emotional connection, but are founded on captivity, are founded on survival. You know, a lot of women are in relationships or even marriages where they're just choosing to be in that relationship not from the self-valuing, high value, high self-worth queen version of themselves, but from the wounded, low self-worth version of themselves. Okay, so that's why my whole platform, my ebook, my course, my coaching are all about doing the inner work to revalue yourself, to appraise your self-value, your standards for yourself, for the man, for your life, for the choices you make every day. The true inner work is truly on the self, and then it's law, it's a natural byproduct of you valuing yourself, is you attracting men or a man that truly values and honors you the way you value and honor yourself. Okay, everything begins and ends with the self. Everyone is just a messenger. The man who broke your heart, the man you're in a relationship with that you hate, that you despise being with, that if only you had a magic wand, you can get out of that relationship. But for some reason, you're tolerating still that relationship. You're not getting out of that relationship. All of them are just messengers. They're messengers and a mirror to how you are valuing yourself or not valuing yourself enough. Okay? So, this is one of the tools that I would like to impart with you today that's actionable, you can use right now. Every time you feel like somebody disrespects you, somebody does not value you, somebody is not treating you well, just ask yourself, where am I not valuing myself? Where am I disrespecting myself? Where am I not treating myself properly? Like, where am I not giving myself the treatment, the high value treatment that I truly deserve? Okay? And then heal that within yourself. Choose more powerful actions. The way you heal that is by first becoming aware of them, because awareness is always first key to transformation. And then once you become aware of them, now make conscious effort to realize when you are making disempowered choices and when you are making choices that are not respectful of you. in life and in dating life and relating to men. For example, if a man has repeatedly shown you that he has no problem flouting your boundaries, disrespecting you, and even if you've already communicated to him verbally already that makes you uncomfortable and he still keeps doing that, and you still allow that man access to you, to your energy, to your life, then the way you heal that is first becoming aware of that pattern, and then two, choosing differently, choosing powerfully, choosing a powerful action, such as stop allowing that man access. Stop allowing such men and such people access to yourself, to your energy, to your presence. Even like jealous friends who are talking behind your back and you've already addressed this with them, stop giving these people access to you. You're going to be better off. That the universe does not like vacuum. When you release unaligned, misaligned relationships, friends and romantic partners, you then create space for the universe to fill that space, that vacuum, with more aligned friends, more aligned romantic partner, more respectful romantic partner, and more respectful friends. You know, you're telling the universe, I am powerful, I am valuable, I only deserve the best from my relationships, and your reality will then bend to mirror that up-leveled self-valuing, self-concept back to you by giving you a more aligned, more respectful, more valuing of you relationships, friends, and romantic partners. And when you revoke access to you, the wrong man will weed themselves out, the wrong people, the wrong friends will deselect themselves, but the right man, the right friends who truly value your presence in their lives will step up and rise and meet you where you are in your up-leveled self-value and self-worth right now. You know, that's the value of walking away and revoking access from people who are not valuing the access. You know, it's a litmus test to the true colors of your relationship, to the true colors of people's intentions for you, and it conserves your energy because then you don't have to engage in too much drama. The wrong people will just automatically deselect themselves from your life, so that saves you energy and time, and the right people will step up to meet you at your queen version of yourself, your up-leveled self-worth, up-leveled self-valuing. Because yeah, that's one of the traits of a true high-value woman. She's highly selective of who gets access to her because she knows she's so valuable. You know, no, not everybody can own a Rolex. You know, only those people who have the capacity to pay for the price of a Rolex, and those who are discerning enough to see the value of a Rolex in their lives can have the Rolex. Okay, a Rolex is not for everybody. The same with a Lamborghini. You know, so you are the Lamborghini, you are the Rolex in dating and in love. So why you're not a bus? You know, the bus gives access to just everyone. You know, you're not a public transportation. You're a freaking Lamborghini, you're a freaking Rolex. So don't give just anyone access. You know, there has to be qualification in order to have access to you. You're super high value, you're priceless, you're more than the value and the worth of a Rolex and a Lamborghini. So if men have the capacity to value and pay for the price of a Rolex or a Lamborghini in order to have those and enjoy those in their lives, why wouldn't they do the same to have access to you? Why wouldn't they do the same in order to have you in their lives, to enjoy you in their lives, to, you know, have access to you? You have to set that standards for yourself so that the men around you, the people around you, can feel it from your energy, and thus they behave and treat you accordingly. It's like auditioning men, you know, until you find the man who's most aligned to you in character, in chemistry, in connection, emotional connection, and in consistency. It's having standards for for yourself, for who you choose to spend the rest of your life with, because the person you're going to choose to marry is so important to the quality of your human experience and your life. And even the past versions of myself used to chase men that I really was attracted to. The wounded version of myself was attracted to, like energetically, emotionally, verbally, with texts and stalking them online. I used to do all those. But as I've healed my self worth and learned to embody and tap into my authentic femininity, my authentic feminine power, and started truly valuing my unique soul essence, feminine essence, naturally, I have lost attraction for the men I used to be, the past version, the past wounded version of myself used to be attracted to. Now I'm no longer attracted to those men. Now I even get the ick just thinking about them, just thinking about the past version of myself, but also have the awareness to have compassion for that past version of myself instead, have understanding and compassion. Yeah, and one of the ways I'm honoring the past version of myself is sharing these things with you so that I don't know, you may be able to relate and up level with me, grow with me, as we together grow into the better and better versions of ourselves, the more queenly versions of ourselves. And that's all for today. This is Final Joy, Colin, and Cody. I love you. I see you. Thank you. You are powerful. You're beautiful. And you are the prize in your life, and especially in your love life. I'm gonna stop my sharing here for this episode. I hope you got value out of this. And this is my Cody. This is my Cody love. Mm, mm, mm. This is my, for now, this is what helps me regulate my nervous system. Aside from all the breath work and the meditation that I do, a pet that you truly love and loves you is also a good source of of your nervous system regulation. Thank you for tuning in, and if this episode sparked something inside you, it's an invitation for you to step fully into your power and claim her and show up in life as her, show up in your dating life as her. And the fastest way to do that is to either work with me one-on-one or join my group coaching program, where we're going to identify all the limiting patterns that are holding you back from showing up as her, showing up as the woman that you truly deserve to show up as, the woman who is honoring of her true self, the woman who knows she's the prize in life and especially in love, the woman who chooses men from her worth, the woman who goes to the dating apps and goes to actual dates and speaks to men on the dating apps and in physical dates as her, as the prize. So I'm going to put all the links down below to my ebook, to video course that's based on the ebook, to my coaching, or you can send me a message, or you can go to my website, finaljoycalling.com. And I'd love to hear from you, so comment down below. Thank you. I love you. I see you. You are the prize. So crown up, queen, and let's do this.